Because, Stephen, are you a fan of audience participation?
Definitely not. No, well, I'm too big. I just get in the way. But I've ended up... is this audience participation? I went to see Bruce Springsteen once.
Ooh, wow.
And I'm a big Bruce Springsteen fan, and I love the guy. And it was a big stadium show, and it was sort of 20,000 people. And I managed to get down in the front. And I didn't realise, but he falls back into the crowd during the show, during Hungry Heart, and the fans kind of carry him on their hands back to the stage. Oh. And so on the first night I went and I sort of videoed this and kind of was very excited about it. And I thought, well, I'd love to be one of those people that gets to touch the great man, you know, and be part of the show. And so I went back the following night. I got another ticket, and I was so determined because it's like I knew where he was going to be, at what time, what he was going to be wearing. I thought, I'm going to touch this 70-year-old man. I was like a stalker in an old people's home. Do you know what I mean? It's like, come on. And I get there, and I'm sure enough, Hungry Heart, and he comes out, and he falls back into the crowd, and I sort of manage to line up, and I sort of get in line, and he's coming down, and everyone's doing this, and he comes out, and the boss is about to get to me, and I receive the boss like that, and I start to do this, but I forget again that I'm 6'7". And so Bruce Springsteen starts to go upwards like that. And the person behind is regular height, and they can't reach to receive him, and so I'm holding, and there's a moment in time when I'm taking the full weight of Bruce Springsteen. Terrified that I'm going to drop him and he's going to break his neck. And he's quite a small man, but he's surprisingly heavy. He's like, have you ever moved a sofa bed? And I'm holding him like this, and I'm just thinking, what would my dad do? And my dad would always say, bend at the knees. So I start sort of bending down, trying not to... And he's still going, Hungry Heart. And I sort of pass him off to the people behind, and he carries on back safely. But honestly, afterwards, I just remember thinking, if I had dropped the boss and he, like, broke his neck, and imagine me going back to, like, future shows, and he's there, sort of in a wheelchair on the stage, and he's just... he could just... The man in the cricket hat! Get rid of it! The PTSD, you know. That was my...